Welcome back to our channel Respect Education. Now we see chapter 1 light in that reflection, worksheet 1. The first question is, which of the following statements are true for a plane mirror? First one, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Angle of deviation D is equal to 180 minus 2i. Third one, for normal incidence, angle D is equal to 180 degrees. There are 4 options given. Let us see here. For example, consider this as a plane mirror. Then this is the normal, this is the incident ray, and this is the reflected ray. Now here let us label it. Here ON is the normal, AO is the incident ray, OR is the reflected ray. Now this is angle of incidence I, this is angle of reflection R, and here this is denoted by alpha, that is called glancing angle, and here D, this is angle of deviation. Now here this angle D will be from here to here, this full angle from here to here, this is angle D. So if you observe the options, option number 1 is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So this is true. Angle of deviation equal to 180 minus 2i. See here, this is D. From here to here to here it is 180 degrees. 180 minus angle I plus angle R. Already we know both are equal. So we can write angle I plus angle I. That is 180 minus 2i. This is 2i. So from here to here is 180. Therefore D equal to 180 minus 2i is correct. For normal incidence, D equal to 180. That is also true. So here second statement, third statement, here all are true. So option D, all, is the right answer. Now we see question number 2. In the given figure, angle of deviation is, as we know, this is a plane mirror and angle D is equal to 180 minus 2i. So let us substitute the values. Write 180 as it is, minus 2 times here I, angle of incidence is given 30. So this is 180 minus 2, that is 60. So it is 120. From the options, option C is the right answer. Now we see question number 3. The minimum height of a plane mirror to observe the full height of a person is, here there are 4 options. Here let us see the situation. For example, this is the plane mirror and here is the person. So from here, if you see, if you take the incident ray, and this will be the reflected ray. That means to see the complete object full size, this half of the size of height of his, half of his height mirror is sufficient. So the minimum height of a plane mirror should be at least half of the height of the person. So here option B is the right answer. Now we see question number 4. The diameter of the enclosed circular portion of the curved mirror is dash. Here 4 options are given. It is a direct question. Okay, this is the definition of aperture. The diameter of the enclosed circular portion of a curved mirror is called aperture. So option D is the right answer, and we will discuss the remaining options also. Pole. The definition of pole is the point on the mirror at the middle of the surface is called pole. For example, you can take any one of the spherical mirrors. Here I am taking concave mirror. This is called pole. And definition of focus is when parallel beam of light is incident on the reflecting surface, then the point from which the reflected rays appears to be convergent or divergent is called principal focus. For example, here let us consider concave mirror, or you can take convex mirror also. When the parallel rays which are parallel to principal axis, after reflection they pass through a point, that point is called focus or principal focus. Now let us see what is center of curvature. The center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part is called the center of curvature. Here, suppose this is the concave mirror and this is focus, and this is the actual center of the sphere from which this mirror is cut. Now here let us see aperture. Aperture is the diameter of the enclosed circular portion of the curved mirror. So here from the options, option D is the suitable option for this question. Now we see question number 5. An incident ray strikes a plane mirror at an angle of 15 degrees with the mirror. Now the question is that the angle between the incident ray and reflected ray. Here let us consider a plane mirror. This is normal and this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. Now here given this is 15 degrees, here I am writing 15 degrees. As we know, the angle between incident ray and the normal is 15 degrees. Also by the laws of reflection, angle of reflection also will be 15. Since both are equal, angular equal to angular. So this is 15, this is also 15. Now question is that the angle between the incident ray, this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. It is asked to find the complete angle. 15 plus 15, so 30. So option B is the right answer. Now we see question number 6. If a mirror is moving towards a person at rest with velocity v, here you see the person is at rest but the mirror is moving with velocity v, then his image approaches him with what velocity? Here the image also will be having the same velocity, but here it will approaches him. It will approaches him means the velocity between he and his image to be added means here v plus v. V plus v is 2 times v. So here option A is the right answer. Now we see question number 7. Which of the given is not true of an image formed by a plane mirror? Actually, based on properties of a plane mirror gives us erect. So this is true, and it is virtual. This is also true. It is diminished means the image size of the image is diminished. This is false. We will get the same size of image. It is at the same distance as the object. This is also true. Now according to the question, which is not true means which is false. So option C is the right answer for this question number 7. Now let us see question number 8. The images are formed due to dash reflection. Here there are options regular, irregular, both A and B and none of these. Here is the question that the images are formed due to any one of these reflections, but we can see the clear image only by regular. But the thing is that images can be formed due to regular and irregular. So here both option A and B both are true. So option C is right answer for this 8th one. Now let us see question number 9. We can see the objects due to dash reflection. See, we can see means here the clarity is required. The objects can be seen by regular reflection, and in fact you can write this option irregular also, because in atmosphere so many rays, okay, they may be struggled so that we may get irregular reflection also. But here the meaning is that objects can be seen means clearly. So according to this question, for this ninth one, option A is the right answer. Now we see question number 10. In case of reflection, which of the following cannot change for light? Here, first one is frequency. Frequency can be changed. Wavelength cannot be changed. And one more thing is speed also cannot be changed, whereas intensity can be changed. Here actually two options are suitable for the question, so here I am giving option B and C. Now we see question number 11. Among the following, correct statements are: regular reflection follows laws of reflection, this is true. Irregular reflection follows laws of reflection, this is also true. Regular reflection does not follow laws of reflection, so this is false. Irregular reflection does not follow laws of reflection, this is also false. In fact, regular and irregular both follow laws of reflection. Actually here both option A and B both are the correct options. Now we see question number 12. What is the angle of deviation in case of a plane mirror? As we know, angle of deviation D equal to 180 minus 2i. 180 can also be written as pi. So here pi minus 2a, option B is the right answer. Now we see question number 13. The curved surface of a shining spoon can be considered as a dash mirror. Here is the question. When we take a spoon, for example, this is of this shape. Now, this outer part which is bulging out can be used as convex, and the inner part, that is, can be used as concave. So from the options, plane is wrong, curved. So these two are called curved mirrors. Spherical, these two are called spherical mirrors also. So B and C, both B and C, that is the right option. So option D is the right one. Now we see question number 14. The path of light energy that travels from one point to another point is called. So here the path of light from one point to another point is called ray of light. So option C is the right answer. Now we see question number 15. The following figures represents divergent beam of a light. So here let us see first one. See, it is entering inside, so it can't be diverged. So this is wrong. And here you say from the point all are going out, so it may be true. And here these are entering, it is called convergent, not divergent. So this is false. First one, A, is also false. Now let us come back to D. See, it is going out. So it is true. Now here we can take option B and option D, both can be true. But the thing is that when we take the object at left hand side, option D will be the right. When we take the object right hand side, option B will be the right. So here we can say either B or D is the right option. Now let us see question number 16. During reflection, here what happens? Let us see first one. Some of the light energy is absorbed by the surface. This is true. Okay, a bit of the light energy can be absorbed by the surface during reflection. Light comes back into the same medium from a boundary separating two media. This is what you see from laws of reflection. The first law, the angle of incidence, the incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence, all the three lie in the same plane. So here they will be there in the same medium. So this is also true. Now some of the energy is not absorbed. See, it is absorbed is true. So this is false. And light comes back into the different medium. But here is the same medium is true, but different medium is false. Now here option A and B both are the right options. Now here let us see question number 17. That is the surface from which reflection takes place. See, The surface from which reflection takes place is always called a reflector. So here option B is the right answer. This is the direct definition of a reflector. Now let us see question number 18. A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inwards. Inwards is always concave mirror. So here option A is the right answer. Now let us see next one, that is question number 19. Now here let us see the question. 19th question is that a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved outwards. See, inwards is always concave, outwards is always convex. So here option B is the right answer. Now let us see next question, that is question number 20. The radius of the sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part called. See here the word radius of the sphere, nothing but radius of curvature. Here there is a spelling wrong is there, spelling mistake is there. Okay, whatever it is. So radius of curvature is nothing but the radius of the sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part. So for the 20th question, option B is the right answer. Now let us see next question, that is question number 21. Dash is the center of sphere from which mirror is a part. So here we can understand that the center of the sphere is nothing but center of curvature. So here center of curvature is the center of sphere from which mirror is a part. So for 21st one, option B is the right answer. Now let us see question number 22. The center of reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is a point called. See here it is a point. For example, if you take this is the one of the spherical mirrors, here I am taking a concave mirror. Now the thing is that this is the center of the reflecting surface. This is reflected surface. Whose center is this? It is denoted by P. Its name is pole. So here pole is the center of reflecting surface of a spherical mirror. That is a point. Pole is a point. So here option D is the right answer for this question, 22nd one. Now let us see question number 23. The line joining the point of incidence and the center of curvature. Here the line joining the point of incidence and the center of curvature, that line is nothing but the normal. Based on the definition of normal, normal is the line joining the point of incidence and the center of curvature. So here option C is the right answer for the question 23. Now we see question number 24. The line joining the pole and the center of curvature. Here this is the line joining, here is P and here is center of curvature. Here focus will be there. This line is called principal axis. So here option D is the right answer. Now let us see question number 25. A concave mirror forms virtual and enlarged. This is true. Virtual diminished. This is false. Real enlarged. This is true. Real diminished. This is also true. So here I think the question might be asked that a concave mirror does not form virtual diminished. Here according to the question it forms all the three. So here we can say option A, option C and option D, all the three are the correct options. If the question a concave mirror does not form, then option B will be the suitable option. Now let us see question number 26. A light ray passing parallel to principal axis incident on a spherical mirror after reflection. For example, you can take any of the spherical mirrors. Here I am taking a concave mirror. Here a ray which is parallel to the principal axis after reflection, as you know, this is P, this is F, this is C. It will pass through the principal focus. So let us see the option passes through the principal focus. So this is the right answer. So option A is the right answer. Let us see remaining options also. Passes through center of curvature is false. Appear to pass through the focus. So this is also here This one may be right for the convex mirror. In plane means in the position of convex mirror, this is true. Now appear to passes through center of curvature. So here in the question you see spherical mirror means it may be either concave or convex. So based on convex, option C also can be considered. If it is only concave, option A is true. If it is only convex, option C is true. Since it is a spherical mirror, it can be any of the mirrors. So option A comma C both are the right options. Now here let us see question number 27. Statement A is given that a ray incident on pole of mirror does not follow laws of reflection. This is false. See, if any ray, whether it passes through pole or any point, so it should follow the laws of reflection. Here does not. Does not is false. Same way, statement B is given as a ray passes through center of curvature of a mirror does not follow. This does not follow laws of reflection is false. It will follow, it will definitely follow the laws of reflection. So here both A and B both are false. See, first one both are true, A and B both are false. So option B is the right answer for this question 27. Now we see question number 28. Statement A says that the diameter of the reflection surface of a spherical mirror is called aperture. This is the definition of aperture. This is true. Now, principal focus lie between the pole and the center of curvature of a concave mirror. Let us see here, it is explained earlier. See, principal focus is, it lies between center of curvature and a pole. So, this is also true. F is in between C and P. So, this is also true. So, 28th question. Statement B is also true. Both are true. A and B both true. Both A and B are true. So option A is the right answer. Now let us see question number 29. Statement A says that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This is based on the laws of reflection. This is true. Incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal drawn at the point of incidence to the reflecting surface lie in the different plane is false. They lie in the same plane. So this statement is false. A is true, B is false. See option C, A is true and B is false. So option C is the right answer. Now let us see question number 30. Match the following using below diagram. Now this is the given diagram. Here, as you know, this is angle of incidence I is given as 20. According to the laws of reflection, if I is 20, R also will be 20 degrees. Right? Now angle D, as we know, angle D is equal to 180 minus 2 times I. So it is 180 minus 2 times I is 20, 2 20s are 40. So this is 140 degrees. D is called angle of deviation, that is 140 degrees. Now here alpha is called angle of glancing. So that is here this total is 90. Already angle I is 20. So this is 90 minus this I, that is 20. So it is 70 degrees. Now let us see the column 1. Angle of glancing, that is alpha. Here we got alpha as 70. So here 70 you see Q. So 70 is suitable to Q. So first one is Q. And second one, angle of reflection, angle R. Angle R we found 20. Here which is 20? Yes. So option yes. Now angle of deviation, that is D. Here we got 140. Here 140 is nothing but P. And last one, angle between the incident ray and reflected ray. Incident ray and reflected ray. These are 20 plus 20, 40. Here 40 is R. Now let us see the options here. According to our options, first one Q, second one yes, third one P, here third one P, fourth one is R, So option A is the right answer. Let us write here option A. Now we see question number 31. Here match the following. In column 1, certain terms are given. Column 2, their definitions are given. Let us see here pole. Here for our reference, I am drawing here one concave mirror. This is the principal axis. Here this can be taken as P, and here is focus F, and here is center of curvature C. Now here pole. Pole means, here you see, let us read the definitions. The center of the sphere on which mirror is a part. This is a sphere actually. So its center is called center of curvature. So the P is suitable for the fourth one. Right? Now let us see second one. The point on which all the reflected rays meet. See here, whenever you take reflected rays, after reflection they meet, or they pass through focus F. So this Q is suitable to focus. So this is Q. The center of the reflecting surface, this is the reflecting surface whose center is called pole P. So this is R is suitable to pole. Now last one is line joining pole and center of curvature. See, pole and center of curvature, this line is called principal axis. So here S is suitable for the third one, principal axis. Now let us see 1R, let us see options 1R, 2S, here 2 is Q, 2 is Q. So this where 2 is Q, you see, yes, 2 is Q. First one R, second one Q, third one is S, and fourth one is P. So option C is the right answer for the question 31st one. Now we see question number 32. Here these are the questions based on assertion and reason. In each of the following questions, a statements of assertion denoted by capital A is given, followed by a corresponding statement of reason, capital R, just below it. Of the statement mark the correct answer. Now the question is that here there are four options. If both A and R are correct, and if R is the correct explanation of A, then we need to keep the option small a. Now when should we write the option B? Let us see. Both A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. By that case, we should mark option B. And A is correct and R is incorrect. In that case, we should write option C. A is incorrect and R is correct. Then in that case, we should write option D. Let us see question number 32 now. Assertion A is given as, when a light passes through the center of curvature of a concave mirror, it reflects back along the same path. Now let us see here, this is a concave mirror and this is the principal axis, and here is the center of curvature. Let us draw a ray which is passing through the center of curvature. As we know, it follows the same path. So assertion here A is true. Next, let us see the reason. The line joins center of curvature and any point on the mirror will act like a normal. Here you see, this is the point on the mirror. See how the ray comes, it follows the same path. It happens in the normal also, right? So this line can be taken as normal also. So here R is also true, and the statement R supports A. So we can say both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. So here we can take option A is the right one. Now let us see question number 33. A ray incident along normal to the mirror retraces its path, means it follows the same path. Now in reflection, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Here you observe both are true, but in this case R is not the suitable explanation of A. A is different statement and R is different statement, both are true. So in that case option B can be given. So for 33rd question, option B is the right answer. Now let us see question number 34. Assertion given as, plane mirror always form real image. This is false. Plane mirror always form virtual image. But here there is a certain condition is there. Real image will be getting when real image we will get for the virtual image. So here it is given that plane mirror always forms real image. That is false. Actually plane mirror will give always virtual image. Now second one is, magnification of plane mirror is 1. This is true because here magnification is always h dash by h. Since both are having the same size of the image, size of the object, both are same, they can be cancelled, you get magnification of +1. So this is true. Now here you see for 34th one, A is false and R is true. That means A is incorrect, A is incorrect, R is correct. So option D is the right answer for this question 34. Now let us see 35. Angle of incidence is 30, angle of deviation is 120. Actually, angle of deviation can be found as 180 minus 2i. So 180 minus 2 times I, that is 60. 180 minus 60 is 120. Here it is given 120. So this is true. Angle of deviation is 180 minus 2i. As we know, that is also true. And using the same formula, we have solved A. That means R is supporting A. So R is the correct explanation of A. So here option A is the right answer because both are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Now let us see question number 36. The point of intersection of reflected rays called real image. Right? Now here it is true where the points meet will get real image. Real images are formed on screen. This is also true. But here you have to observe carefully. Both are true, but this is not suitable for this. This is not supporting the assertion A. Both are true, but so here option B is the right answer. Now let us see question number 37. Assertion A it is given as the point of intersection of extended reflected rays forms virtual image. This one true only. Whenever you take any mirror, like here we can take the concave mirror, and here under the last case, see when you draw parallel line, it will pass through the F. Now here it can be extended, right? That means here we are getting the image behind the mirror, that is virtual image. When we draw a parallel ray, it will pass through focus, right? So, and any ray, it is passing through, here we can take C, it will follow the same path. So by joining you will get the virtual image. That means the point of intersection of the extended rays, these are the extended rays, it forms virtual image. So this is true. Virtual images are formed on screen. This is false. So A is correct and R is incorrect. So here if you observe, option C, A is correct, R is incorrect. So for 37th one, option C is the right answer. Now let us see question number 38. Assertion is given as power of plane mirror is 0. Actually this is true. How it is true? Power is nothing but reciprocal of the focal length. As we know, focal length is infinity for plane mirror. 1 by infinity is always 0. So in that case, power of plane mirror is 0. That is true. Focal length of plane mirror is infinity. Because of that, this is also true, because using which we got this one. So R is supporting A. So option A is the right answer. Now let us see the question number 39. Plane mirrors are used as dressing table mirror. This is true. In fact, we use at our homes plane mirror as dressing table. So this is true. Plane mirror always forms virtual image of the same size as the object. This is also true. And here this is supporting this. So that is the reason we are using dressing table. Since the image is virtual image and always the same size, we can see our image as it is. So here 30 for 39th one, option A is true. Now let us see question number 40. So here I would like to repeat question number 39 again. Plane mirror always are used as dressing table mirror. So that is true. We use plane mirror as the dressing table mirror. Plane mirrors always forms virtual image of the same size. So as we would like to see our height as it is. That is the reason we use plane mirror. So both are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. That's why option A is true. Now here let us see question number 40. A plane mirror can form a real image when beam of light falling on the mirror is converging. Here we need to understand that under this situation only under this situation, plane mirror can give us real image. You do not think that plane mirror will give always virtual image. No. Here you need to keep focus that this statement is true. Plane mirror will give a real image, but only when a beam of light falling on the mirror is converging. That is nothing but it will give the real image to the virtual image of the plane mirror. For example, here you see this is the plane mirror, and here we get the image, that is virtual image, and its image can be given as here real. That means here you see, whenever for example here you take one of the rays and extend the rays here, they are forming, and it comes back to here, it is in this way. For example here you take and here they are meeting and like this. See, the image of V can be get here, it can be get as real image. So we can say that the image of the virtual image can be real under only this condition. So it is true. So on reflection from a plane mirror, the rays in converging beam actually meet at a point in front of the mirror. So this is also true. In fact, this is supporting A. So under this case, for 40th one, option A is right answer. Now we see question number 41. These are paragraph based questions. So one passage is given, let us see. A plane mirror is a mirror with a flat reflective surface. A plane mirror makes an image of object in front of it, and a plane mirror is only type of mirror for which a real object always produces an image that is virtual. Now here for let us see the questions. Question number 41. What type of reflection takes place on the surface of mirror? Now let us see the options: regular, irregular, diffuse, and none of these. In fact, plane mirror has a smooth surface, so it always gives a regular reflection. So here option A is the right answer. Let us see question number 42. What are the values of I, angle of incidence, and R, angle of reflection, when light incident normally on the plane mirror? See here, for example, this is the plane mirror and this is the normal. Here, according to the question, the light incident normally, so here is this is the normal and this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. In fact, angle I, it is the angle between incident ray and the normal. Since both coincide each other, angle I is 0. There is no angle. As we know, according to the laws of reflection, angle I and angle R both are equal. So angle R also will be 0, because angle R is nothing but, angle of reflection is nothing but the angle between the normal and the reflected ray. Here, as they both also coincide each other, there is no angle. So here in this case, angle I and angle R both are 0. So option C is right answer. Now let us see question number 43. Write the characteristics of image found by a plane mirror. According to options, you see, plane mirror will give a virtual image. This is true. It gives real image. This is false. Magnified. No, it will give same size. So this is false. Diminished. No, it will give same size. So this is false. So according to the options, option A is the right answer. Now let us see passage 2. An object is at a distance 25 centimeter in front of a plane mirror. The mirror is shifted 5 centimeter from the object. For example, here initial case is, here is the mirror and here is the object. Let us say here O for object and here I for image. This is 25 centimeter. Later the mirror is moved 5 centimeter away from the object. This is the second case. It is O. Here is 25. Now 5 centimeter shifted. Mirror is shifted. So here to here is 25 and this is 5 centimeter in fact. So here actually image should get here, but it also will be moved 5 centimeter far away. Now here you will get the image at I dash, not at I. Now let us see the options. The initial distance between the object and the image. As we know, the distance between the object to the mirror and mirror to the image both are same. So here if this is 25, this also will be 25. Now the distance between object to the image is 25 plus 25, so 50. Option B is the right answer. Now the new distance between the object and the image, new distance. See, here is the object and here is the new image. Here to here is 25 plus 5 30. The same here to here 25 plus 5 30. So total this is 30 plus 30, that is 60 centimeter. So option D is the right answer. Now let us see the distance between two positions of the image by consider initial position of the object as a reference. See, initially the image it was at 25 centimeter and the new one is at 30 centimeter. Now the difference is 30 centimeter minus 25 centimeter, that is nothing but 5 centimeter. From options we see option D is the right answer. Now let us see remaining questions, that is according to the passage 3. Here passage 3 says that Neha tried to view her face on the curved surface of spoon. She observed that the image formed on the bulged outward part is erect. Bulged outward part is always, it indicates convex mirror. Next, curved inward part is always concave mirror. Is inverted, that means concave mirror will give invert image, whereas convex mirror will give erect images. Now here for example you see, for example this is the spoon that is taken by her. This out one is nothing but convex and this inner one is nothing but concave. Now let us see the questions. Question number 47. The surface of the spoon which is bulged outwards, I have told you bulged outwards is convex, so option B is the right answer. Question number 48. The surface of the spoon which is curved inwards, always already I told you that is concave, so here concave is option C. Can be acted as dash mirror, so it is concave mirror. Inwards is always concave mirror. Now what is the size of the image found when Neha looked at the curved inward part? That means she is using here like concave mirror. Concave mirror will give enlarged one only one case, when she puts her face between F and P. According to the situation, she may not keep her face that much closer. So here it will give, remaining cases it will give diminished image. So according to this passage, for this 49th one, diminished image is correct. Let us see the remaining one. Enlarged one I just now explained. Point size, when the object is at infinity, then only point size. But Neha is somehow closer to the mirror, so we cannot take the object as infinity. Here the object is Neha. Next, same size will be given by plane mirror, and that too in concave mirror you will be getting same size when we keep the object at center of curvature, but that is real and inverted. Clear? So here according to that, here is asking the size. That too, she looked inward part, she used concave mirror, so she will get diminished. Always the size will be lesser than the object. Now let us see the last question of the worksheet. What type of image formed on bulged outward? Outward will give us always convex. So convex mirror gives always virtual and direct. It is not real and inverted, not real and direct, not virtual and inverted. Always it gives virtual and erect image. So for 50th question, option B is the right answer. If you feel this video is helpful to you, please like, share and subscribe our channel. And please do not forget to press the bell button so that you will get the notifications from our channel. Thank you very much.